There are fragrances that smell good. There are fragrances that turn heads. And then there are fragrances that make people stop mid-conversation, look at you, and ask, "What are you wearing?" Noir de Noir by Tom Ford is the third kind. This is not a safe scent. This is not something you reach for on a Tuesday morning before a team meeting. This is a fragrance that has an agenda. It wants to be remembered. And today we are going to find out whether that agenda is worth 274 pounds of your hard-earned money. Tom Ford. The name alone carries weight. Before he was a perfumer, he was the man who saved Gucci. He turned a brand that was practically bankrupt in the early 90s into one of the most coveted fashion houses on the planet. And when he launched his own private blend collection in 2006, he brought that same philosophy: unapologetic luxury, uncompromising quality, and a very deliberate sense of provocation. Straight into the world of fragrance. Tom Ford Private Blend was never meant to be mainstream. It was meant to be the opposite. These are scents for people who have already found their taste and are no longer interested in compromise. Noir de Noir sits comfortably within that lineage. It was crafted by perfumer Givaudan, and it sits at the darker, more opulent end of even the Private Blend collection. Think of it as the velvet room at the back of the party. Not everyone gets in. Let me tell you, before a single molecule of this fragrance hits your nose, the bottle alone has already done a lot of work. The packaging arrives in Tom Ford's signature black and gold. That heavy, matte outer box that feels almost architectural. You slide it open, and there it is. A black glass bottle, deep and almost opaque, with the Private Blend branding in gold. It feels cold and substantial in your hand. Weighty in the way that expensive things are weighty, not heavy for the sake of it, but heavy because it is genuinely made of quality materials. The atomizer delivers a precise, refined spray. No wide blast, no dripping nozzle. Just a clean, controlled mist. Everything about this object communicates one thing. This is serious. This is not a novelty. This is a grown-up fragrance in a grown-up bottle, and it knows exactly what it is. Okay? First spray. This is the moment. You press the atomizer, and what hits you immediately is darkness. There is no bright citrus opening here, no cheerful burst of bergamot to ease you in. Noir de Noir announces itself with a deep, almost intoxicating rose. But do not let the word rose fool you into thinking this is soft or feminine or gentle. This rose has thorns. It has earth underneath it. There is a slight woodsy, almost truffle-like quality right from the very first breath that immediately separates this from every other rose-forward fragrance you have smelled. The projection on that opening spray is significant. 2 sprays to the neck, and the people nearest to you will absolutely know you are wearing something. It does not scream, it commands. There is a difference. Some fragrances shout. Noir de Noir speaks quietly, but everyone in the room still hears it. As we move into the first hour, this is where Noir de Noir starts to reveal what it truly is. The rose deepens and is joined by what I can only describe as a dark, almost narcotic floral quality. There is a richness here that sits somewhere between a fresh black rose and something almost edible, like dark cherry, like black fruits that have been left to ferment slightly in an oak barrel. It is dense, it is complex, and it keeps shifting. Every 10 minutes it is slightly different. That is the hallmark of a genuinely well-constructed fragrance. It moves on your skin. It breathes. I want to be honest here, though. This heart phase is polarizing. Some people will find this intoxicating and addictive. Others will find it overwhelming, almost claustrophobic. If you are someone who gravitates toward fresh, clean, airy scents, this heart may genuinely unsettle you. And that is not a criticism. That is just the fragrance being exactly what it was designed to be. Noir de Noir has absolutely no interest in being universally loved. 3 hours in. 4 hours in. This is where I think Noir de Noir earns its price tag. The dry down on this fragrance is extraordinary. What settles on the skin after all that drama and darkness is a warm, almost smoky, deeply woody base that is simultaneously rich and refined. There is oud here, but it is not the aggressive medicinal oud you find in some Middle Eastern-inspired fragrances. This oud is polished. It is woven into the sandalwood and the patchouli in a way that feels seamless. And underneath all of that is a skin-like, almost vanillic warmth that gives the entire composition a kind of intimacy. At this stage, Noir de Noir is no longer filling the room. It is sitting close to your skin, almost like a secret. You have to be physically close to someone to smell it fully. And that intimacy, that closeness required, that is entirely intentional. This is a fragrance built for proximity. It is built for evenings when proximity is exactly the point. Right, let us talk numbers, because this matters at this price point. On skin, I am getting a consistent 8 to 10 hours. That dry down I described, that intimate woodsy warmth, it is genuinely still there when you get home at the end of an evening. On fabric, and I always test on fabric because fabric holds fragrance differently than skin, I am getting closer to 14, 15 hours. I sprayed the collar of a dark shirt, and I could still detect it the following morning. Sillage, meaning how much of a trail or cloud you leave, is strong in that first 2 to 3 hours, and then it dials back considerably. This is not a fragrance that will clear a lift. It fills a space in the opening phase, but as it develops, it becomes progressively more personal, more intimate. If you want something that announces your presence from across a room all day long, this may disappoint. If you want something that rewards closeness, Noir de Noir absolutely delivers. Seasonally, autumn and winter without question. This fragrance was made for cold air, dark evenings, coats, and candlelight. Wearing Noir de Noir in the middle of August would feel like wearing a cashmere turtleneck to the beach. It belongs to the cold months. In terms of occasion, evenings, dinners, theater, private events, romantic settings. This is not a daytime fragrance. It is not an office fragrance. It is a fragrance that lives after dark. In terms of personality type, this suits someone who is confident without being loud, someone who has an aesthetic, who makes considered choices, who is not chasing trends. This is listed as unisex, and genuinely I believe that. The rose might read as traditionally feminine, but the darkness of the base, the oud, the earthy depth, it works compellingly on all skin types. Age-wise, I would say this fragrance rewards a little life experience. This is not a first fragrance. This is a fragrance you arrive at. 274 pounds for 100 milliliters. That works out at £2.74 per milliliter. In the world of Tom Ford Private Blend, that is actually positioned consistently with the rest of the collection. But objectively, is it worth it? This is the honest part. The quality of the ingredients is evident. The longevity justifies a significant portion of that price. And in a market where you can spend similar money on designer fragrances that perform half as well, Noir de Noir does genuinely deliver on its promise. Where I would push back slightly is on versatility. You are paying premium money for a fragrance that has a fairly narrow window of use. It is not an everyday scent for most people. It is an occasional, special occasion scent. So the cost per wear is something to consider. If I am giving this a score out of 10, I give Noir de Noir an 8.5. The composition is exceptional. The dry down alone is worth serious consideration. The slight deduction is purely for that limited versatility, and the price point, which while understandable, remains a significant investment. If you want to pick this up, P11 have it in stock. The link is in the description below. They are a trusted UK premium retailer and genuinely a great place to shop the full private blend range. Noir de Noir is not trying to be your favorite fragrance. It is trying to be your most powerful fragrance. It is a piece of olfactory architecture, dark, complex, beautifully engineered, and unapologetically dramatic. It will not work for everyone. It is not meant to. But for the person who wears it in the right context, in the right season, on the right evening, it is genuinely something special. It is the kind of fragrance that becomes a memory for other people. They will not remember what you wore. They will just remember that you smelled incredible. And that, at the end of the day, is exactly what a fragrance at this level should do. So, do you own Noir de Noir? Have you tried it? I genuinely want to know what you think because this is one of those fragrances that provokes a real conversation. Drop it in the comments below. And if you are on the fence about picking this up, the link to P11 is right there in the description. Go and have a look. Until next time.